This series of videos is about HVAC scams. I was a service tech for 35 years. I worked with a lot of people that did good work, had a lot of knowledge, and had to be paid for it. That's not what this is about. This is about those few that take advantage of people's lack of knowledge, sell them things they don't need, sell them repairs they don't need, sometimes scare them to death. This is what this is about. This one is your heat exchanger's cracked, so we have to replace your furnace scan. Now there's some truth in this. If your heat exchanger is cracked, you have two choices. Number one choice, replace the furnace. Number two, replace the heat exchanger. Some furnaces have very long, some lifetime warranties on heat exchangers, and you need to make sure whether yours is one of those or not. I think the minimum I've seen is about 15 years. So you could have a furnace that's failed, had a heat exchanger fail in the warranty, and you can get it replaced. Now, the heat exchanger is usually the only part that is warranted. The labor's not. So it's going to cost you some labor to put it in, and that can vary. Okay, but oftentimes this is a scam because the heat exchanger is not really cracked. Now we're going to take a look at this furnace here, and I'm going to give you an idea of how the heat exchanger would be checked and what questions you could ask if this is your diagnosis. Okay, this is a mid-90s 80% furnace. The burners are right here. The heat exchanger is behind there. So in order to check to see if there's cracks in the heat exchanger, there's a couple of ways you can do it. One is you can remove all the burners, inspect either with a camera or just a flashlight. You can go down to the blower down here, and you can replace, or you can pull the blower out and check there. Okay, the reason I told you about these two different places, they're not real simple to tell, are they? Taking the blower out takes a little while. Taking the burners out takes even longer. And the inspection process is not something you can do in just a very few minutes. You're going to have to look closely in there. So when the man comes up and says, you know, he's been down to your basement, 5 or 10 minutes, and he says, well, your heat exchanger's broke, got to have a new furnace. You want to question that. You want to see the crack. If he's used a camera, you want to see the camera footage. If he's showing you where the crack is, you want to be able to see it. Okay. Sometimes they'll say, well, there's carbon monoxide. Remember, not carbon monoxide, not carbon dioxide. Monoxide is a poisonous gas. And these furnaces will produce it in the ductwork if there's a cracked heat exchanger sometimes. So he can use a monoxer to look inside your duct, or to check inside the duct and see if there is carbon monoxide in there. You want to see the readings. You want to see that he's put the probe in and he has gotten a CO reading. Other than that, be very suspicious when someone says you have a cracked heat exchanger, we must replace your furnace. Remember, a lot of these heat exchangers have extended warranties and can be replaced. If you wanted to, let's say you had a cracked heat exchanger and you wanted to put extra money with it and buy a newer furnace that was more energy efficient, that's a good time to do it. But you need to be sure that that heat exchanger is cracked before you decide to do that. Remember, CO test, the guy's got to spend some time down there, and you want to see where that crack is. Those things will probably keep you out of trouble. So that's it on the Quickie heat exchanger scam. As with all of these videos, if you have questions or comments, put them in the comments section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and I'll try to help.